Do you ever feel self-conscious? I'd ever wish that you just, if you only could have a bit more confidence. Well, self-consciousness and confidence have been really big things for me. Now, I could tell you all about my dysfunctional family and my domineering mother and my passive father and all the reasons behind how this came to be a problem. But the thing that I really struggle with is, what's the answer? Like, what's the solution? So I find myself in situations where I'd be holding back. Like, I would be wanting to take action or be wanting to do something, but I would feel so constrained and so contained that it was really frustrating. It'd be so frustrated. Earlier this year I was having lunch with a friend of mine who was doing an acting course. And what you're about to hear is about the most powerful self-confidence building technique that I've ever discovered. And I've tried a lot of things. I've read truckloads of books on the subject, I've done public speaking, I've done stage performances before, music theatre, a bunch of different stuff. But this is the most powerful technique that I've ever come across that I want to tell you about. And I became really excited about it when I was having lunch with a friend of mine who told me about this acting course that he was doing, studying the Meisner technique. And I'd heard about acting courses before, and I'd even done a couple myself, and they were okay, but none of them had really blown me away like this course I'm doing at the moment. And the thing that sold it for me was that this guy called Sanford Meisner came up with this technique for teaching actors to be totally present in the moment, to get over their inhibitions and to connect emotionally with other characters on stage, because he wanted actors to look really real. And when he looked at actors that had been trained using Stanislavski's method acting, which is the most popular method for training actors even today, he just didn't think they looked genuine enough. They looked as though they were acting. And he wanted actors to be real. So he came up with a technique for training actors to be present, to be emotionally connected with the other actors on the stage, and to actually be responding intuitively to what was going on, rather than to be acting, rather than putting on a facade. And I thought, this sounds fantastic. Like, this is exactly how I want to be living my life. Like, just in my day-to-day life, I didn't want to be putting on a facade. I wanted to actually be responding intuitively and creatively to whatever was going on around me. So after this conversation with my friend, I hit the website of this acting school and sent them a contact, and the guy that ran the school rang me and said, why don't you come in and chat to me? So the next day I was talking to the guy that was running the school, and by Monday I was actually in class, like learning this technique, and I had no plan to study acting, and I've ended up spending this whole year studying this technique. And basically what the technique involves is a series of repetitious exercises with the other actors that we do during practice sessions. So in class we'll do our little practice we'll do our activities in class, but the real meat of the work happens at the practice sessions, which I've been going to twice a week for 3 hours a time. And what the teacher said that actually sold this technique to me was, this isn't a quick fix, Graham. This is going to require you to spend hundreds of hours practicing this technique. There's no easy way out of that. If you really want to be present in the moment, if you want to have the confidence that you want, there's no instant solution to it. You actually have to do the work of turning up to practice sessions and doing the practice. So I've been going to these practice sessions, and what we do is we work with the other actors and we call their emotional behaviour while they call our emotional behaviour. We just bounce back and forth like a ping pong until something changes. So for instance, at the moment I might say, you're interested, because you look interested. And then you might say, yeah, I'm interested. And I'll just say, yeah, you're interested. And you'll just say, yeah, I'm interested. And we keep doing that until someone's emotional behaviour changes. Now, invariably, this will lead to some kind of drama. Eventually, you'll get bored, or I'll get bored, and you'll call that. So I'll say, well, you're bored. And then you'll say, yeah, I'm bored. And then as the technique progresses, we introduce what's called a point of view. You start having a really strong point of view about something, which is something that I lacked when I didn't have any confidence. Because I was really wishy-washy. I was like, oh yeah, whatever, it's okay by me. Well, actually it wasn't okay by me. It was just I was allowing people to walk over me by saying, yeah, whatever, it's fine with me. So I started introducing a real strong point of view. For instance, my strong point of view might be, I don't like people being bored when they're talking to me. That's disrespectful. And I don't put up with people that are disrespectful. So my point of view will grow, and when you start saying you're bored, I'll be like, you're bored? You'll be like, yeah, I'm bored. You're bored? And then you'll start thinking, wow, this guy's really aggressive. So your point of view will be, you're really aggressive. It's like, you're really aggressive. I'm like, yeah, I'm really aggressive. And through doing these exercises, I've found just it's amazing how much it's affected me outside the acting class. Because this is not a technique for learning to act on stage. This is a technique that affects everything in your life. Now, I was in class one day, and before class I was wanting to work with one of the other guys. We do these warm-up exercises before class so that we're ready. And one of the girls in the class is a massive music theatre diva, and she's just larger than life. And she was yelling at the top of her voice. I really wanted to work with this guy. Vanessa's going off in the corner. And I just immediately and intuitively just went, "Oh, Vanessa, fuck!" And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Graham, I'm sorry." And she calmed down. And then I went to do the exercise with my friend, and I just couldn't help but laugh at the fact that I just told this girl off, which is something I would normally never do. But she was disturbing me, like I couldn't do the exercise. And rather than having the thought, "Oh no, I can't say that, because like what are they going to think? Or I might offend them, oh no," I actually just did it intuitively. And then had the thought, "Oh gee, I wonder whether I should have said that." Now, it turned out that when Vanessa got her first full-time paid acting job in an upcoming series on SBS, like she's going to be a screen star, I was the first person that she rang when she was really excited about it to tell, even after I told her to shut up in class, right? So far from being offended, actually being straight with people like, builds relationships and builds rapport with them. Now, I was on my way home from acting class the other day, and I was really in a hurry to get the bus. If I miss my bus, I have to wait another hour because they don't run all that often. And there's a little shop in the QVB where I normally go to grab a sandwich on the way home. And I was really in a hurry. So I race up to this shop and I look at the sandwiches and I'm saying, I'm thinking, do I want the chicken or do I want the egg? And I'm like, can I get the get the egg? And the guy's not paying attention. Like he's looking over at some pretty girl that's walking down or something. And I'm in a rush. So I'm like, "Hey, come on, I'm in a hurry here. Can you give me the egg sandwich, please?" He's like, "Oh yeah, all right. You didn't know whether you wanted the chicken or the egg. Look, mate, get this guy's change, quick." All right, so I'm handing the money, I'm getting the sandwich, I'm getting the change. I'm out of there, and I'm like, I can't believe how assertive I was with that guy. Like, I'm just laughing as I'm running off to my bus. And I just said, "Look, I need my needs met. I need them met now, and like, you're not paying attention." So once again, rather than having these thoughts, "Oh, I can't offend this guy or anything," I'm actually just responding intuitively, and it's working. Like people are responding and giving me what I want, and I'm not, feeling bad about that. That's okay. Now it's interesting because in these exercises we're actually taught to pinch the other actor to get an emotional response from them, because we're trying to develop an emotional connection. And it doesn't matter whether the emotional connection is based on we're all feeling warm and lovely, or whether it's based on I'm really angry with you. Either way is an emotional response that affects the other person. So we're actually being taught to affect them, and if they're not being affected because they've got a wall up, to break through it by pinching them, by saying, you're being difficult, you're being stubborn, you're arrogant, you're self-focused, all those things that I do as well. And then you get it back, and it's amazing how the technique works in practice. So if you're interested in self-confidence, the fascinating thing about this is that underneath these layers of stuff that we put on, these facades we put on, these rules that we follow about how we should relate to people, there's actually a natural way of relating to people that we often don't ever get to because we're too worried about what would happen if we responded genuinely and authentically. And once you get down to that level, it's so much less stressful than having all this, what if I offend them, what if I hurt their feelings, Often people aren't even thinking the things that we think that they're thinking about us. So if you're interested in self-confidence, I highly recommend that you check out this technique. It's called the Meisner acting technique, and it's an amazing way of building self-confidence and developing rapport with other people at the same time.